Hi everyone, this is Steve Johnson, and in this tutorial we are going to go through the PBVUSD EdCamp, which is going to take place on March 6th for 3rd grade teachers, March 24th for 5th grade teachers, and March 27th for 6th grade teachers. Now this tutorial, or webinar if you want to call it that, isn't going to take the place of EdCamp. EdCamp is going to be 8 o'clock in the morning till 3:30 in the afternoons, and this tutorial won't be that long, of course. But it'll give you a general idea of what's covered during EdCamp. And also, if you attend EdCamp and you want to revisit some part of the presentation that was shown, this is a video that could probably help with that. So first off, this video can be found along with the presentation and the resources shared during EdCamp at the URL at the top of this screen right here. And then the presenter, Sarah Camp, who is going to cover the advanced section of the Google Apps for Education part of EdCamp. Her email is given, as well as Erin Torbert's and mine. Erin is going to lead the intermediate GAF, or Google Apps for Education, portion of the training, and I will do the beginner portion for GAF. First off, if you're a teacher in the Panama Buena Vista Union School District, thank you so much for your hard work this year. With Common Core, Response Intervention, DII, new math curriculum, and all the other things that are going on in education right now, there's been a lot of hard work this year, and it's really appreciated, especially you taking the time to watch this video and to attend EdCamp. It's really great, and it's an exciting time in education, especially with the technology. So we're all really glad that you guys are participating in this. Now, the objective of EdCamp is to first explain what SAMR, what the SAMR model is, to help teachers become familiar with Teachers Lounge, which is the online resource website that we've created this year, to help you become comfortable with the ACERs, which are the one-to-one devices being deployed in our school district, and to become confident using Google Apps for Education. Like I said before, we're not going to go through all of the components of GAF in this video, but I'll point you in the direction to where you can get more information on Teachers Lounge, and I'll cover some of the things that might not be covered on Teachers Lounge. So again, the breakdown of the EdCamp. If you attended or will attend, Sarah Camp's going to do the advanced part of Google, Erin Torbert will do the intermediate, and I will do the beginner section of Google. Okay, here's the SAMR model. This is something that's kind of important to be aware of, especially if you have devices in your classroom. When you first get a device in your classroom, you're one-to-one, and you've got a lot of technology the students are using. That technology kind of acts as a tool that you can substitute the things that you're already doing by using, let's say, the laptop or Google Apps for Education. After using technology for a while, that's when teachers can go to the next step, which is augmentation. That's when the technology acts as not just a substitute, it has a few functional improvements in the way the students are doing a task. From that point, from augmentation, things start to transform, and that's where you get modification. This is where technology allows for a task to be redesigned in a way that wasn't necessarily possible before technology was introduced in the classroom. And then finally, after modification, is redefinition. And this is when technology is used in new, interesting, and innovative ways that were definitely not available or not even inconceivable before students had technology in their hands. To look at it another way, here's the SAMR model again, this time starting from the left and going to the right. If you were looking at coffee, let's say, for substitution, a cup of coffee, just a regular cup of coffee, would be using technology at its most basic form. A good way to start, for sure. And then when you take coffee and you turn it into a latte, that would be augmentation. That would be taking it a step further, making a functional improvement to what you're already doing. From that point, maybe you turn that latte or that coffee into a caramel macchiato. So that would be taking it a little step further, a little bit more complex, a redesign of the latte. And then for redefinition, creating something that was previously inconceivable, in this case, taking it to a pumpkin spice type of drink. So you can see how that would be much different and take a lot more experience to create than just a cup of coffee. Now, I just bring this up because when you first get laptops in your classroom, being in the substitution part of this model is totally fine, and that's actually what we want. In order to use the technology effectively, it's very important to substitute what you're already doing and just put the technology in the kids' hands and have them just do what you do on a regular basis. You shouldn't have to feel like you need to add something to what you're already doing. You already have a very full plate, and so if you can use the technology in a way that it's just kind of a more efficient way of what you already do, and you're substituting, that's great. You will find as you go along that you will find functional improvements as the students are working, and as they're excited using the technology, you will just naturally move into the augmentation modification portion of this model because you'll be excited about using the technology and you'll find out new ways that you actually can use it just by having the experience of having them in your classroom. So here's Teacher's Lounge, and I'm going to exit out of this PowerPoint for just a second. This is actually a Google Slide presentation, I should say. And I'm going to create a new tab up here in the top of my Chrome browser, and I'm going to visit the district web page. If you look at the district web page and you go on the left, you can see that there's a Teacher's Lounge link. I'm going to click on that, and that will take us to Teacher's Lounge. You can see that there are quick links on the left, and this is where you probably signed up for the EdCamp session. We also have a scrolling video page right here that you guys can see teachers using technology and curriculum in their classrooms. Going across the top, you can see the curriculum tab, instruction tab, which gives kind of a window to teachers' classrooms and how they are using technology. Programs, information for assessments, information for new teachers, and support. When I click on programs, you're going to see a ton of programs that teachers use throughout the district. The two important ones for the EdCamp purposes are this link right here, Student Devices, which gives you links to Google Documents that give you a lot of great information on how to use the laptops, in addition to clearing browsing history in both Firefox and Chrome, which comes into play quite a lot if your computer is remembering passwords and usernames and you don't want it to. Clicking on Programs again, next to Student Devices, there's Google Apps for Education. And we have a ton of videos. I'm actually going to refer to this page again in a little bit. But there are videos on Gmail, Calendar. We have some information on Google Forms. We have a lot of Google Apps for Education video tutorials by clicking on this link right here, how you can print using Google, specifically Google Chrome, the browser, and solutions for commonly asked questions. We also have a lot of videos if you just scroll down here. So great resource for being able to use Google Apps for Education successfully in your classroom. Okay, going back to this presentation right here. Here is the desktop for the Acer laptop. So what I'm going to go into now is I'm going to discuss the Acer laptop and the operating system that's on the Acer laptop called UberMix. If you look at it, we've got some links on this new image. The image is just the operating system on the laptop. The links that are going to be on the desktop are Lexia, the K-6 online textbook for math, My Big Campus, the secure browser for testing, Google Drive, Gradebook for students, the 7th and 8th grade textbook for math, and Renaissance Place. Now, I'm not on an Acer laptop right now, so I can't leave this presentation to show you exactly what you can do on Acer, but I do have some pictures with arrows pointing to what I'm going to talk about. If you click on the upper left-hand corner of the previous screen, which is right here, if you click on that circle, that's where you access browsers to go online. That's where you can access the apps that are available on this machine. There's a lot of great ones like Scratch. Scratch is an app where students can code and create programs. And then you also have the LibreOffice suite where students can actually type like a Microsoft Word document. They can use a program very similar to PowerPoint, a program very similar to Excel, but it's all open source, and so it's called LibreOffice. So again, that is all accessed by clicking on this circle next to the word activities. Wi-Fi. Now, in the upper right-hand corner of the UberMix screen, you can see that where the red arrow is pointing to, that's a fan. It's a Wi-Fi kind of fan. That shows that the computer has internet connectivity. It's connected to a wireless network. If this icon looks like this right here, that means that the device is searching for internet access. That probably means you put in the password to a Wi-Fi network, and the computer is currently looking or trying to get connected to the internet. If that fan looks like this right here, these two screens with an X, that means that it's not connected to the internet. So you do not have internet connectivity. You can still use the device. You can still use LibreOffice or Scratch. Those apps are totally fine without the internet, which is a great feature of the Acer laptop. But you won't be able to gain access online, check email. If you look at this little toggle switch, which I'll show you on another slide, this also, if it's grayed out, means that the wireless is not on. This right here means the wireless is turned on, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. So looking at this screen, you can tell right here by this fan that it's not those two screens. It's not this right here. So the fan is on, which means that it's connected to the wireless. This dot right here signifies that this is what I'm connected to. I'm connected to pbvsd_ssc. Now, if I want to connect to the hidden network, which is pbvsd PSK, what I need to do is I need to click on Network Settings, because the internet in your classroom is called the PSK network, and it is hidden. It's not going to just pop up automatically. You do have to go through a couple steps in order to get the devices online. So to get this screen that's showing right now, you want to click right here on this fan. This screen will pop up, and then you want to click on Network Settings. So you click on Network Settings, and this screen will pop up. So in order to connect to the hidden network at this point, you just click on Connect to a Hidden Network. After you click on that button, this screen will pop up. Now it says Connection New. What you need to do is click on this arrow right here, and what will happen is a field will drop down, and the words or the letters PBVUSD will show up. You want to select PBVUSD, and you want to click Connect. This will become a live button, and you'll click Connect. Once you do that, you'll see that the information for the Wi-Fi is already written into the computer. That's already been done. The password, which is encrypted here, is already in the computer. So you don't even need to type in the password. At this point, all you need to do is click Connect. Once you click Connect, the wireless will go from this grayed out button right here to this button right here. It'll turn orange. So that signifies that it's on, and you can see by the icon, this is off, and this fan means that it's on. Now, if you're looking at your computer, and you're looking at like your Acer computer, you'll see that in the lower left-hand corner, there's a function button. It says FN. You want to hold that down, and if you were to click the F3 button at the top of the keyboard, that toggles the Wi-Fi on and off. It's a great troubleshooting tip for students to know if they have any trouble, if the internet has any trouble connecting. So again, if you hold function down and then F3, that will turn the internet off. And if it's off and you hit function F3, it will turn it on.